Coming up on Network Africa. Scores die in cargo plane crash near the international airport in South Sudan's capital, Juba, leaving only 2 survivors, an elderly man and a child. Uganda's ruling party holds lavish delegates conference in the capital, Kampala, ahead of the 2016 general elections. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi defends Egypt's sweeping security laws, insisting he is still taking the country on a path to democracy. Hello and welcome to Network Africa. I am Adeshewa Josh. It's been one crash too many. While the world grapples with the real cause of the Russian airline 321 crash in the Sinai Peninsula on Saturday, yet another aviation disaster has been recorded, this time in South Sudan. A cargo plane carrying an unspecified number of people crashed shortly after it took off today near the international airport in South Sudan's capital, Juba. There are conflicting death toll reports in the unfortunate incident. Some say 25, while others claim the number of the dead is as high as 40. It is, however, still unclear how many of the victims were on the plane and how many were on the ground. The Antonov AN-12 plane was heading to Palok in Upper Nile State and crashed just 800 meters from the runway. The Chief Executive Officer for South Sudan Civil Aviation Authority held a press conference earlier. He said investigation is ongoing to determine the cause of the crash. Now let's give you more facts about the Juba crash. The plane was heading to Palok in Upper Nile State. The plane crashed shortly after taking off from the Juba airport. Crash site is 800 meters from the runway. The Russian plane was made by Antonov, a Ukrainian aircraft company. Crashed along the White Nile River. Reports say 41 bodies were found among the wreckage. Officials say there are 2 survivors, a child and a member of the crew. The airport hosts regular commercial flights. Now let's bring in Philip Alu. He was at the crash site in Juba. He joins me now on Network Africa. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. I'm told that Philip Alu will join us as soon as we can reach him on the program. Let's quickly take a break on Network Africa. When we come back. The race to elect the next president of Uganda is on. Can the coalition between the opposition parties deny President Museveni another term in office? We'll have the latest from Kampala. Welcome back to the program. I told you earlier the Chief Executive Officer for South Sudan Civil Aviation Authority held a press conference earlier, and he said that investigation is ongoing to determine the cause of the crash. Let's listen to what he said during the press conference.
This morning we have an aircraft accident belonging to a land air service cargo which departed from Juba International Airport at 5:59 to Palok. The registration of that aircraft is EY-4-406, and type of aircraft is Antonov 12B. Captain reported to the tower that the person on board is 12. And fuel is enough for 5 hours. And the crew of the aircraft is mixed, 5 Armenians and 1 Russian. And tonnage of the aircraft is 15.5. We have been there since maybe after 30 minutes. Myself, I've been there. Minister of Transport is there, and also Deputy Minister of Transport is there. And I saw so many officials are there in the site of crash. I don't know, but we are there, and I saw the all forces, and which is the regular forces. They are there. They have secured the site, and I think all of them are there. We never reached the stage of investigation. Now we are making recovering. We have secured
to rule the nation, or that the seat of power will be occupied by the opposition. At a lavish delegates conference for Uganda's ruling party, the National Resistance Movement, NRM, at the Nambuli National Stadium in Kampala, well, President Museveni ran from his seat to the podium in an apparent show of vitality, a way to show his supporters he is fit to run again. Meanwhile, the main opposition party are teaming up against him ahead of the elections to give President Museveni and the ruling party a run for their money.
President Yoweri Museveni ran from his seat to the podium in an apparent show of vitality at a delegates conference for Uganda's ruling party, the National Resistance Movement, NRM. The 71-year-old rebel-turned-president has ruled Uganda for nearly 30 years, and over the weekend, his party gave him the nod to run as a presidential candidate for the 2016 general elections. After years in office, his critics accuse him of failing to halt corruption and of using his security forces to stifle opponents, a charge an official denies. Western donors also show increasing frustration with his extended grip on power.
I was going to Mwalimu Nyeri's office to prepare for the expulsion of Idi Amin from the Kagera salient, but also from Uganda. So I find this very interesting, the coincidence of the dates. And I'm glad you have joined me again to push Uganda forward like we have done in the past.
Museveni faces a tight race against Amama Mbabazi, his ex-premier sacked amidst a power struggle last year, and longtime opposition figure Kizza Besigye, flag-bearer for Uganda's largest opposition party, Forum for Democratic Change, FDC. Former Justice Minister George Kanyehamba says Uganda needs a peaceful transition of power overseen by Museveni himself to avoid chances of unrest.
Some of us who are arguing now is to say, let there be peaceful change by electoral process, so that Museveni is still around when another group of leaders or even among his own NRM takes over. There is a peaceful handover, and we shall avoid the chaos.
Electoral Commission officials say they plan to nominate a total of 10 presidential candidates. However, the main race is expected between Museveni, Mbabazi and Besigye, who was run and lost thrice but blamed rigging for his loss. Museveni is unencumbered by term limits facing some other African leaders. Uganda scrapped a 2-term limit in 2005 when the constitution was changed to allow for multi-party politics.
You would like to know more about the opposition candidates in this coming elections in Uganda. Let's give you facts about Amama Mbabazi. There are 2 major contenders against Museveni. Well, he was born on the 16th of January 1949 in Suseso, Kabale. He was the 10th Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda. He is the founder of the National Resistance Movement and has served as its Secretary General from 2005 till date. Now, Kizza Besigye is also the second contender. The 2 of them are coming together, uniting against Museveni ahead of the elections. Kizza Besigye was born on the 22nd of April 1956. He is a Ugandan physician, politician and former military officer. He served as the party president of the Forum for Democracy Change, a political party, and was a contestant in Uganda's elections in 2001, 2006 and 2011 presidential elections. Let's take another short break on Network Africa. When we come back, Egypt President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi defends his government's strict security laws as it launches campaign to boost tourism in the country.